common. As we see, this child and this man are both on the streets, which today I'll be talking about people living on the streets, the homeless. There are approximately 2.5 million kids living on the streets, but do we really know that? We don't. I have experienced seeing kids living on the streets and men who are disabled living on the street as well. Back in high school, as part of my community service, I used to go feed the homeless, and there was a case that really touched me, in which I saw a family of father with 3 children. They were probably less than 5 years old, living on the streets, asking for food. When they saw the van coming up when we were delivering the food, they got really happy to see that. As I said, I will be talking about children living on the streets, and then this man, he's actually a veteran of war. He's disabled, and he says he's living on the streets with just a couple of things with him. So I'll be talking about what the problem is of homelessness, what are the causes, and what are some possible solutions. First, I'll start out with the problem. The problem, we all think, what really is the problem of homelessness? We see that these children are living on the streets, but do we really care? Some of us might care, some of us might not. We also see men. We don't, men and women living on the streets, being disabled, not being able to back. But do you know that some of them are, they look normal, but do you know that they are actually veterans of war? We don't really know that. Why? Because we don't get a chance, we don't take time to go talk to them. As I mentioned before, when I would go feed the poor, they would always tell me, try to make conversation with them, because they like people coming up to them. Some of them do like it, some of them do not. The problem with the kids being homeless is that they could there's a chance that these kids would be our future. We don't know, but they're out on the street. According to the Washington Post, 2.5 million kids are homeless living on the streets. As I said, these 2.5 million kids could be our future. They could be, maybe some of them were living on the streets, and maybe they could have been here taking one of our spots. We don't know why they're actually living on the streets. Veterans, why are veterans actually on the streets? That's a big problem. After fighting war, they're off on the streets. Why? We don't know. Why are they left on the streets? So some causes of veterans being on the streets are that the government doesn't want to take care of, want to be responsible. They don't, veterans, when they come back, they don't want to waste money on the veterans. They don't want to pull attention to them. And then for children, same. They don't really care about the children that are on the street. The families, some don't even happen to have money. Family thinks they cannot afford to pay to school. Some families are not even informed they could get public help from the government, which they just don't take the time. They don't care. Parents don't really care if some of their children go to school or not. In ncbi.gov, it mentions educational challenge affecting both development and industrialized nations of the world, which means that these children are not able to go to school because, as I mentioned, the parents don't really care if their children go to school or not, probably because they themselves didn't go to school, so they probably say, oh, what's the point of my children going to school if they themselves didn't go to school? And then the veterans, well, government doesn't really care about them. moving on to some possible solutions for these children and the veterans are that you could make a veteran and even a child feel valuable. Sam Smith states, an English philosopher states that despite the importance different views, this is saying that you could talk to them no matter how you think about them. It would be good that you go up to them and talk to them. You will make them feel valuable because, as I said, some veterans, you just see them on the street, but do you really know that they're veterans? No, you don't. It's good to go up to them and talk to them. Maybe they have stories that you're interested in, so it would be good to make them feel that you care about them just by going up to talking to them. And then another solution could be building shelters, which the New York Times posted that Los Angeles City Council approves of a plan to build shelters for homeless. I've read that in the New York Times. There's the LA Council is investing in many shelters to provide for both children and veterans to be living in these shelters. And actually, I found out that there are some shelters for only veterans, which is a good thing. And then children will probably be able to live in places like this, which would be good because maybe someone, probably myself that was a volunteer, I used to go help, so probably if you're good at English, math, you could probably go teach those kids and be a possible help in their education. So now that I talked about the problems, costs, and solutions, I will start to wrap things up. I talked about people living in veterans and children living on the streets, and I talked about the problem, the cost, and the solutions. So now my question is, have you asked yourself, how can you help these people, the veterans and the children of war?